EdSec annual has been forwarded to the New Jersey Herald and the Daily Record. It was posted on the bulletin board maintained in the municipal building for public announcements. Can I have a roll call?
Mr. Hoppercamp.
Here.
Ms. Johnson.
Here.
Ms. Roberts.
Here.
Ms. Rodriguez.
She's on her way.
Ms. Smith.
Here.
Mr. Smith.
Here.
Mayor Galate.
Here. If you will join me in the flag salute. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you'll please remain standing. It is with a heavy heart that we announce the passing of Henry Sardina, Captain of Defiance Engine Company No. 3. Henry served our community with unwavering commitment and bravery, embodying the true spirit of service and sacrifice. As Captain of Defiance Engine Company No. 3, Henry demonstrated exceptional leadership and dedication, earning the respect and the admiration of his fellow firefighters and the entire Hopatcong community. As we mourn this profound loss, we extend our deepest condolences to his family, friends, and fellow members of the fire department. Hopatcong has lost not only a courageous firefighter, but a cherished leader and a member of our community. In honor of his memory and service, we will keep his loved ones in our thoughts and our prayers during this very difficult time. May Henry rest in peace, and may his legacy inspire us all. If you'll just join me in a moment of silence for Henry. Thank you. Committee reports. Would you like to start, Ms. Roberts?
Sure. Just the week coming up on Tuesday, December 10th, from 7 to 8:30, we have the All Cancer Support Group meeting at the community center. Walk-ins are welcome. There's never an appointment or a call ahead. Just walk in and there's a support team there if you need it. On Thursday, December 12th, if you need any county resources, the Center for Prevention will be at the community center from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. All walk-ins are welcome. And I just wanted to remind everyone that our giving tree is covered with tags for children that are in need this holiday season. So if you would like to sign out a tag and participate in our annual giving tree, that would be absolutely wonderful. We do have a couple dozen children on there. So there's some people having some hard times. So it's just really wonderful that the community pitches in the way that it does. We have donations of toys, and the wrapped gifts are just starting to be returned with the tags on. And we will be giving all of those out on December 20th with refreshments and Santa Claus. So anyone that would like to come in and grab a gift tag for a child, please feel free to sign one out. We just ask that you have it back by December 19th. And I really didn't know the Sardina family well, but our family is holding the Sardina family in our thoughts and our prayers. We offer all of our condolences. We know what a huge loss this is to our town. We're just so sorry for everyone that's feeling this loss. Our fireman, his family, and the town collectively. So you're in our thoughts and prayers, Sardina family. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, I too would like to also offer my condolences to the family of Sardinia. I mean, given the time that he did to everything here in the town for as long as he did and taken from us at such an early age, our condolences go out to him and his family. And I just hope we keep great people like him on board the fire department for a long, long time. Mayor, on just a simple note here, Dan McCarthy's in the audience to do a presentation from the Lake Commission, Lake Hopatcong Commission, but I just would throw out that last Saturday is when they started the lake drawdown that started and will go down, it's around 8 foot, a little over 8 foot right now. It'll go down to 7 foot for the annual drawdown. It's not a 5-year drawdown this year, just 2 feet.
Hi, so it's kind of long, it's been a long time since our last meeting. So for school, our esports team plays second in states. Our competition cheer plays second at Voorhees competition. I wanted to congratulate the following professionals who've been selected as the Governor Educator of the Year and Educational Service Professionals, that's ESP. Mary Nee and Christina Nied from Durban Avenue School. Heather Keegan and Shaban Winkler at Tulsa Trail. Alana Benninger and Stacy Monafusco at the middle school. Jim McDonald and Michelle Iannuzzi at the high school. I also, HOPA ESP of the Year was Nicole Roman Jarena. So congratulations. On recreation, we did our field walk, which was completed on November 17th. Our chairperson for the rec commission should have the report available soon. The next rec meeting is December 19th at 7 p.m. This Saturday, December 7th, is the Santa in the Park event from 12 to 3. You can come and get your picture with Santa, have a personalized ornament made, and have hot chocolate and cookies. Moving over to Municipal Alliance, they had a movie night that was held on November 15th and had 42 attendees to watch Inside Out. They also sponsored assemblies in the schools for Timothy Schumacher on November 25th. He is a school speaker and professional trainer who focuses on student wellness. The 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th grade grades focused on resiliency. 8th and 9th focused on social media. And 10th and 11th grades focused on the dangers of vaping. This Saturday, December 7th, starting at 11:30 in the morning, the Hopatcon Fire Department will be holding a funeral procession, followed by the last call for Captain Henry Sardina III. The procession will begin at Hopatcon State Park to Firehouse 3 via Hopatchung Road, ending around 12:30. All are invited to stand along the procession route. The center of town will be closed for about an hour during the procession. Personally, I wanted to send out my sincerest condolences to Captain Henry Sardina's family. Henry was a dedicated and valued member of this community. His loss will surely be felt here in Hopatcon. Thank you.
Can I ask a question? You said recreation is December 19th.
Yes, 7 p.m.
I think it's on the recreation board for the 10th.
It was changed to the 19th. Or it's going to be changed to the 19th.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Ms. Smith?
Yes, we got 2 new applications for the real estate selling, and we're going to be auctioning off some properties tonight, and we'll keep working on it. Thank you.
From the Chamber of Commerce, holiday after hours is tomorrow night. Next B2B breakfast is next Tuesday, the 10th. The Women in Business Holiday Social is December 12th, and the next Sussex South meeting is December 13th. Over at SCUMA is the next paper shredding event is December 20th. I too want to talk about Henry. Henry was an indispensable member of this community. He was first with the ambulance squad and then with the firehouse. He was a great mentor to the younger firefighters in Firehouse 3. It's kind of a crushing blow to see him pass so young and stunning. It just, I'm still in shock, and I offer my condolences and my prayers go out to the family and to the members of the firehouse. He really was a core member of the fire department, and he will be missed. That's all I got.
Thank you. Ms. Rodriguez?
Thank you. I apologize for being a couple minutes late tonight. Had some traffic on the way over, but nonetheless, I also want to acknowledge Henry Sardina and his family. I want to thank his son, Kyler, for his service. It's unfortunate to be overseas when this happened, but he's back here with the family. So thinking of all of them, anybody who has donated or volunteered for the meal train that the Northwood Community Association has put out there, thank you. I believe we have a couple more dates available at the end of this month. So thank you so far to everybody who's contributed for that. The family is very thankful. It does make it easy for them with all the planning that they've had to go through to not have to worry about dinner. It's just one less thing. So every little bit helps. And I'm touched by the outpouring of support from the community for this family and for the support they've provided to all of Henry's brothers and sisters in uniform. As Councilwoman Johnson stated regarding the events for this Saturday, the Hopatcong Police Department has a map up of the roads on their Facebook page, and they will also be sending out reminders via Nixle. So if you'd like to see the maps, that is available online. The PBA, I'd like to thank everybody who came out for that. There was a wonderful turnout. It's always very touching, again, to see the community come together. It's a small but tight-knit community, and I think we all know how much it means to help each other out during the holiday season. So thank you for everybody who came out for that. They do have the Christmas date available. It's Monday, December 23rd from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And that's going to be at Defiance Company number 3. Again, that's in collaboration with Kiwanis, as well as some surrounding departments. We are currently in a code blue, and that's running from December 2nd until December 5th, 9 p.m. to 12 p.m. each day. So please keep an eye out for updates from the police department. We also attended the League of Municipalities, which was an overwhelming experience. There is a tremendous amount of classes from agriculture to ethics to auditing. It's a lot of information. And I'm thankful to have had the opportunity to go down there, take what we learn and apply it here to the borough just to see how we can innovate and make our community that much better moving forward. And I believe that was, I'm sorry, fire department, just the events for this weekend, nothing from ambulance squad, and that is all I have.
Very good. Thank you. I just had a few things. Our water meeting was Thursday, November 7th. That was narrated by our engineer, John Rushkey. It was an extremely informative meeting on PFAS, lead and galvanized service line replacements, and the New Jersey Spill Fund. If you did not have the opportunity to attend or to watch it live, you can go on to hopatcong.org. You scroll to the bottom to the latest news. You click See All News. And the 5th choice down is water meeting video link. And you will then be allowed to view the entire meeting, which also includes the PowerPoint presentation. If you are a water customer serviced by Hopatcong Borough, you also need to complete a water line survey, which you can also find online under the community tab under public notices. The very last one says water line survey. If you are a water customer, please complete the survey. I was invited to speak at the Stanhope American Legion on behalf of the Borough of Hopatcong for Veterans Day on Sunday, November 10th. It was a very nice event. The American Legion took the initiative to invite all of the mayors for all of their members that they have. So there were 7 different mayors that were there representing their towns, representing their members of the Stanhope American Legion. On Sunday, November 11th, Hopatcong had its own Veterans Day service where we acknowledged BNS Louis Ricca, and we declared November 18th Lou Ricca Day, and SPC Thomas Joseph Cone, and declared November 19th as Thomas Cone Day. Lastly, we recognized Lance Corporal Vincent Nadoro Jr., and we declared November 20th as Vincent Nadoro Day. Thank you for everyone that attended that event, everyone that helped with that service that day. Thank you for the council, Roseanne, Recreation, Joe and Joy Gorleone. They provided the music and the PA system for us, and Tim Carey, who was the master of ceremonies. I'd like to thank the Environmental Commission, thank you, Jonathan, for all of the holiday decorations on the outside of the municipal building and in Maxim Glen and Fireman's Park. They did a phenomenal job. They inventoried all of the items that were in the original building, checked all of the lights, fixed what was broken, and then went to work installing. I can't thank them enough because it's beautiful. I do want to thank DPW. The wreaths are up this week. You'll see them on Hopatcong, and the menorah was also installed. The Division of Motor Vehicles, the DMV, was here on November 22nd. As you recall, there was an accumulation of snowfall in the area that day. They had anticipated many cancellations, and when they arrived, they possibly were going to close early. However, because it's Hopatcong and we're used to snow and they're not from South Jersey, There were 35 appointments that day, and they had a few walk-ins who had their handicap placards renewed. Since this was such a great success, we've asked DMV to come back to Hopakon in 2025. I've asked for them to come back for a week and the possibility of coming back on a quarterly basis, but we'll have to wait to see what they assign us. I'd like to thank Recreation and the Girl Scouts and the Hopakon High School Band, Al Cerullo, who is their director, Joe and Joy Gorleone, and the Environmental Commission, Rachel and Jennifer, Roseanne, and the DPW members that were there, Robert and Dave, for all of their help at the lighting of the Christmas tree. It was a huge success. The band played several songs. Santa arrived on a caravan of decorated fire trucks, and then he greeted the crowd. And then the Girl Scouts sang with the Hopakon High School Band. And for the conclusion, we had hot chocolate and cookies. I really was surprised at how many people were there. We had counted over 200 people, and it was very, very, very cold there that night. But it was a beautiful event. All the council has been given an invitation to the Hopakon Senior Inc. holiday party on December 12th. If you can please let me know if you can attend or reach out for their president. I believe it's in all of the mailboxes. I'd like to reiterate thanking Judy Wolf and Sergeant Kraus and Kane Pope from Roxbury Kiwanis, and everyone who was involved in making the Thanksgiving dinner on Thanksgiving Day such a huge success. The amount of time and effort that goes into an event like this is tremendous. I believe that we distributed over 350 meals this year. Thank you to everyone who donated their time, cooked turkeys, served food, organized, and delivered. The list is endless for the jobs that were accomplished. Hopakon Borough cannot thank all of you enough. It was amazing to see the outpouring of volunteers that morning on Thanksgiving. It takes place from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., and that's just the serving. There are many more hours that go into this event, considering you have to set up the night before, cook the turkeys, and it really is tremendous. And I'm just so grateful that we have that in Hopakon. You will hear later on the agenda, Ordinance 21-2024. This will pertain to the bulk pickup. The new policy starting January 1 will be as follows. 1 large item per household per garbage pickup will be permitted to be picked up at your curb for free. You will no longer need a sticker for bulk pickup as long as you follow the rule of 1 bulk item per garbage pickup. What this really means is you will be permitted 1 large household item per week, which is 4 large items a month. This will eliminate the need for stickers on these bulk items, and the $10 charge for the sticker will no longer be collected. No sticker is needed for these bulk items. The white goods, however, the washers, the dryers, the dishwashers, the ovens, the white metal policy remains in effect and is still a $10 sticker. Once you come to the Borough Hall and purchase your sticker, you then call DPW to make arrangements to have the item picked up. You can also drive your white good item to the recycling center and save yourself the $10 sticker and just bring it to the recycling center yourself. There is no fee. You just need proof of your residency when you enter the recycling center. Hopakon has also, proud to announce, received a grant for $181,236 for the DuPont Avenue roadway. This is a grant from the Department of Transportation. There'll be more to come with that as the grant progresses through so we can actually use it. I do want to thank the borough for the opportunity to go to the League of Municipalities convention that was in Atlantic City. Rachel talked about a lot of the different classes that we attended and how educational it was, and I'm just thankful for the opportunity. I would like to just say, in reference to Henry Sardina, who was a larger than life personality. I've known Henry almost his whole life. He's the same age as my nephew, and they grew up together. And it really is shocking to lose someone at such a young age in your community. And my thoughts and my prayers go to his fiance and his family. And he will be missed. He will be greatly missed in our community. Thank you. And now we'll have our report from Dan McCarthy, who has brought us a slideshow for the evening.
Evening, everyone. So tonight I thought a good topic, because it's topical now, would be ice safety and ice retardant systems. So we'll start with ice safety. So New Jersey statute, always start with the law, being my background. New Jersey statute 1312-5, which talks about the use of Lake Apacong for boating, etc. It says in pertinent part, the waters of Lake Apacong may be used as an aquatic public park for boating, bathing, fishing, and winter sports, among other things. Traditionally, winter sports has meant ice skating, ice fishing, ice boating, snowmobiling, cross-country skiing, hiking, and a lot of other things. And I saw this morning, there's ice in Woodport from Brady Bridge North for the most part. There's ice starting to form in River Styx, so we're at the point where the weather holds up. It'll be good. I've been keeping ice records, paper records, but when the ice comes in, when the ice goes out, thicknesses and so forth, since 1983, year after year. And what I've seen, other than very little ice for the last 10 years, what I've seen is ice can come in December and leave in January. It can come in February and leave in March. There's no set timetable, it's just Mother Nature. So with 2,600 acres of water out here, if it becomes hard, there's going to be people on the shoreline looking and wondering, and can I go out? Is it safe? Should I go out? I think you start with the rule that assume that the ice is never safe. I think you should start with that as your rule and work from there. And I'm going to read some information I got from the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources website, which talks about ice. New ice is usually stronger than old ice. Ice seldom freezes uniformly. It may be a foot thick here. It may be 6 inches thick over there. Ice formed over moving water or near flowing water, is sometimes thinner. Snow insulates ice and doesn't allow it to get as thick. If anybody's been out on the lake in the wintertime, we had really cold weather and get this nice black ice. You hear this cracking and booming and echoing. It sounds like ricocheting, and people think if the ice is unsafe, it's cracking, it's a problem. Well, that's actually a good sound. That's the ice burping and gurgling is what you want to hear. If you see areas where there's waterfowl or fish, movement can bring warm water up and so forth and cause an issue in that particular area. So the general rule of thumb, according again to the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources, is if it's less than 4 inches, keep off it. If it's 4 inches or more, it'll support one person on foot. 5 to 7 inches, they say, will support a snowmobile. 7 to 8 inches would support a side-by-side or ATV. And not that we have to worry about this on Lake Apacong, but I have seen cars out on the lake illegally. They call for 9 to 12 inches. So checking ice, this is my own background, my own perspective. One of the first things I got when I was a kid, when I went ice fishing, is something called a spud bar. It's a long metal bar with a sharp edge, grounds to a point at the bottom, and you use it to chop ice. And that's used to test the thickness of the ice, but you also should listen when you're chopping, because different ice will sound different. Solid ice, black ice is really hard, and it's a fight to get through it. Ice which is covered with snow and has some air in it, it's easier to get through. In the spring, when things get soft, a couple chops, you're right through the ice. So that spud bar is the first thing you should use when you approach the ice. Certainly a tape measure, once you cut your hole, you want to measure it. You want to test with multiple holes, because as I said, it could be a foot thick here, it could be 6 inches thick over there. So never assume just because it's one thickness someplace, it's that way everywhere. Black ice is best. That's the stuff that you can see through. Sometimes you see frozen herring and things in it. That's kind of neat to see. But the ice that you can see through and you can see the cracks, that's actually the strongest. Cloudy ice, which usually happens when we have a snowstorm and then it melts and freezes, that has a lot of air in it. So that is not as strong. Springtime, I'm sure many of you have seen this after a long winter. And we have some very warm weather. Towards the end of the season, the ice has a very eerie death gray look to it. That's stuff you should definitely stay away from. Sometimes when we're ice fishing in the spring and we have a couple of warm days, the ice is a foot thick or more. And it's warm, it's 50 degrees, we're out in t-shirts or sweatshirts ice fishing, and you hear sounds like Rice Krispies. If the ice sounds like Ice Krispies, it's melting. Doesn't mean it's dangerous, just means pay extra close attention. So as for ice safety, try not to go out alone. Tell others where you're going. Bring ice picks, which I have in front of me. They go around your neck. And if you fall through, you just break them apart and you can claw your way out. I've never had to use them, but first time I took my two sons on the lake, they each got a set of these and they would mutz around and play. But the idea is if you fall through, you're not gonna be able to grab the ice. You need something that with a sharp edge, to grab. And these are available in most local sporting goods stores or boat liveries. Bring your cell phone. Everyone who goes should have their cell phone. You should maybe look around and make a note of dock numbers, because if somebody falls through and you got to call 911, somebody says, "Where are you?" Well, I'm by dock number such and such. Try not to go out at night. But if you do find it for whatever reason you have to go out at night, it's always best to have traversed that spot during daylight hours on the same day. So that's ice in wintertime. So the next topic is ice retardant systems. For those of you who own lakefront property, you realize it costs a fortune to own the property, it costs a fortune in taxes, it costs a fortune to maintain it. So you want to protect your dock, you want to protect your dock, your boathouse, etc., from ice, because ice can push and heave and it can destroy things pretty readily and very quickly. So in the old days, for an ice retardant system, people would have what are called bubble systems. They would be put in and they'd keep a small trench open around a dock or a structure. They would, in a perfect world, they would have timers and thermostats, because you only need to have them on a little bit, and you only need a small trench to keep the water open so that when the ice shifts, it's not going to push against anything because there's open water. At some point, I don't remember when, I think it was in the mid 80s, we started to see these propeller driven devices, commonly known as ice heaters, show up, and people would put them in. What they are is a big propeller in a cylinder, and they just plug it in, they turn it on. There's some people on this lake that plug them in October and don't unplug them till April. I've been out on the lake opening day of trout season. The lake is wide open and these things are still running. So to kind of have a balance between protecting docks and structures and also protecting and preserving winter use, Hopatcong has had an ice retardant systems ordinance, I think, since the 80s. We were the first town to have it. It was just updated last year. And what we're trying to do with the commission through an ice retardant systems committee, of which I'm a member, so is Council President Hofferkamp. We've been at this quite some time, along with Dr. Fred Steinbaum of Hopatcong and Todd Stevens of Hopatcong. So we've come up with a model ordinance that we've sent to the 4 towns. Hopatcong last year adopted an updated ordinance. So if I understand Hopatcong's positions correctly, they're going to wait to see what the other towns do with the model ordinance and then look to see if our ordinance needs to be tweaked. That's my understanding. So we're waiting for feedback from the towns. We just got some feedback from Jefferson. We're going to see where that goes. So the idea is to get a uniform system throughout the watershed so that everybody understands what's going on. So I just want to show some slides. I think this is an appropriate time. This is picture number 1, which is up now. Where we are here is Bass Rock, which is in Wildwood Shores. It's directly across from Halsey Island. That's what you see across there is Halsey Island. Obviously, the white area is ice. It's covered with snow. And then the area immediately in front of the dock is open water. Now, I took this picture because I saw 2 things which concern me. There was a propeller-driven device on the left, and we're going to see some pictures in a minute for both sides. But on both sides of this dock are propeller-driven devices running all the time. This was about 4 or 5 years ago, running all the time. And what they were doing is they're keeping an area in front of a community dock. That's Wildwood Shores, this Bass Rock dock, where we would go down, and it's one of the places we would access the lake to ice fish. Well, we can't get onto the lake because these rogue propeller-driven devices are running full time. So if we can go to picture 2, it's the same area. This is the same area looking to the right. So you can see that dock past this boathouse. There's an ice retardant system there. It's a propeller-driven device. And then if you can go to the next one to the left, there's one over there too. If you look real close, you can see ripples in the water. And then beyond it is one. I know we have limitations as far as how many feet you're supposed to be from your neighbor's dock, but all this is grossly unnecessary. Much less would do. And this dock here never had an ice retardant system. Years ago, we'd be able to go down here and get on the ice without any issue. So if we go to our next slide. Now, this is another concern I have. This is Elba Point specifically. On the boathouse, the brick boathouse is actually Elba Point, and then beyond it is Chestnut Point in Mount Arlington. You'll see there was a couple of propeller-driven devices near and around that boathouse. And then what happens here is the wind gets a hold of it. And then when the wind gets a hold of ice, it unzips it like a zipper. So if you have a large open area like this, it's going to catch the wind and it's going to open up. Now, the problem with this from a life safety standpoint is the ice that you see here could be 6 inches thick. The rest of it is open water. Now, if we had a situation where we had a quick freeze and we got an inch of ice on that open water, and then it snowed, and somebody decides they're gonna go cross-country skiing, they're gonna be in for a very cold shock. That is a problem. That is grossly excessive in terms of protecting a structure. So this is what we're aiming at with the ice retardant systems, is to control stuff like that. So our next slide. Same place, just a different angle. You can see how far out into the lake that goes. That was caught by the wind. I watched it, and was monitoring it, taking pictures of it growing. And it all started from the area, the couple houses around that boathouse and that boathouse itself. So that's what we're concerned about with rogue ice retardant systems. The next picture. This is over in Jefferson, again, Halsey Island. There was a ice retardant system to the left of the picture, just to the left of that lamppost in the background. The wind got a hold of it and it opened it all the way up past that boathouse and beyond to where that, if you look real close beyond that big tree on the right, you can see this open water over there. But that's an example of the wind catching a hold of a large open area and just running with it. And this prevents ice from freezing, and it keeps open water, and it makes the lake full of death traps. So next slide. This is an area near Witten Park, Sperry Springs. And same thing, there's 5 or 6 crazy propeller-driven devices along this stretch here. And the prevailing winds many times are from the northwest, and it just comes through there and it opens the whole area up. So this is the problem with the propeller-driven devices, which we're trying to control through our ordinance. I think that's it. That's number 7, right?
Yeah.
So what I would suggest is, we all live around a lake. So as the winter moves along and things get cold, take a look. Just look out the lake, watch the ice, watch it form, watch what's going on with open water. And I think maybe you'll see what I see. Hopefully you don't. Hopefully we get this under control. The idea, I know Commissioner Hofferkamp is, and I don't want to steal your thunder, but he's big on public education rather than enforcement, right? That's our first avenue. Last thing we want to do is have the construction official, the zoning officer write somebody a ticket. But at the same time, the people that go away, in October and don't come back till April and just turn these things on, they're causing a problem. So we, at the commission, do have ice retardant system do's and don'ts. I think this is on our website. I think there's probably some over here. I know I've seen them. If anybody wants a couple, I can hand them out. So any questions about any of this? So.
Then you want to mention the state restriction now, excuse me, on having life preservers on in a small vessel during I don't remember the time frame, like November.
Yeah.
Till like
Till like-
January, and it's actually to unfortunately work in favor if something bad really happens, that no divers have to get involved to go find somebody.
Yes. And the same is true with snowmobile operation on the lake. You're supposed to have a life jacket, which I have issues with that, because when you're on a snowmobile, you have to be nimble and you have to shift your weight and move around, and having this bulky thing is a problem. So what I ended up doing in my own case with ice snowmobiles, I get one of those belts with an inflatable life vest. You pull a ripcord and the CO2 cartridge and it inflates. And the Marine Police are happy and I can move around, and the world's a beautiful place. So anyway, any other questions?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Oh, sure. Anybody else need?
Yeah.
The bubblers are still on in Crescent Cove. Is there, the ice fishermen probably would be there if it soon, if.
Well, that should be off now. It should be turned off.
Are they gonna be turned off,
We
They
have
should have been
Oh,
turned off
no.
a month ago, I think.
I'm sorry, where are you talking about?
Crescent Cove.
Yeah, I think that's the aeration system.
Yes. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that should be turned off now, because I don't think there's any benefit to
No.
that. And it will prevent the ice from freezing. And there's actually ice forming in River Styx. I saw it earlier today. But that will interfere with ice forming in the River Styx. And in the past couple of years with these mild winters, River Styx is like the first place to freeze, and it's often the only place you can go. And I've noticed it's been jam-packed with people in the few times that we've had ice fishermen, people skiing, people skating. I mean, it's like Grand Central Station out there, which is a nice thing to see. Thank you, folks.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Happy
you.
holidays.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
Happy holidays. Shelby, can we ask Pat Mason to turn them off?
2 days ago.
Okay.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
I'm
2
sorry.
days ago.
I got 2 phone calls.
Oh, yeah.
Ice fishermen.
Can we
Yeah.
pull the thumb drive out first? Thank you.
It's this one, right?
That's it.
It's a tag.
Sorry about that.
That's
Thank you.
okay. Thank you, Dan.
Appreciate it.
So moving along. We don't have any proclamations this evening. That brings us to public comment. Can I have a motion to open to the public?
Motion.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The meeting is open to the public for anything and everything that is on and off the agenda. Does anybody like to speak?
Come on, Dave.
I win in
What?
no
Let's
one
go. You always end it. Kick it over today.
Okay, good.
I wasn't planning to speak.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, the only thing I have to say is it possible to put on the bill list, $3.99 for a spray or something for the walls? Remember, we spoke about this
Mhm.
6 months ago and you said you would work with me on painting it.
Yeah,
And-
again, it's on their list of things to do. It's just that it's not the top priority,
I can
unfortunately, with the
understand.
staff that we have. Yes,
Okay, thank you.
it would
That-
be on my top list. There's a lot of things that would be on my top list.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Steve, are you
Have a-
volunteering? Do you want to
Fine.
help?
What?
Are you volunteering? We can do
Yes,
it together.
yes.
Anyone else? Not seeing anything, motion to bring it back?
Motion.
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving along to the approval of minutes, the approval of the November 6, 2024 regular and executive minutes are available.
Motion made.
And a roll call?
Mr. Hoppercamp,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Roberts.
yes,
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
And correspondence, so resolution 2024-149, the bill list.
Motion made.
Second.
And Mayor, if I may, if anyone has anything they would like taken off the bill list or questions regarding the bill list. Mayor, seeing no one, offer that it goes around in totality.
This might be the first time.
It's been a while.
And the roll call?
Mr. Hoppercamp,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Roberts.
yes,
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Resolutions, resolution 2024-150, authorizing the hiring of Melissa Perini as an animal control officer.
So made.
Second.
Discussion.
Sure.
This, so full-time position eligible for overtime, correct? With this,
This is a full-time position that if there was overtime, they would be eligible for overtime.
okay. My personal opinion, I mean, looking at it, $36,000 doesn't seem sustainable to live on for a full-time position. That's maybe something we can investigate down the road. But I'd just like to note on the record that I feel like for a full-time position, you would still need a second job just to make ends meet in today's day and age on that.
Noted. Motion second. And a roll call?
Mr. Hoppercamp,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Roberts.
yes,
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
2024-151, we need to remove this from the agenda. The resident who was offering to donate the property has sold the property. I didn't have the ability to remove it from the agenda. So 2024-152, authorizing amendments to the personnel manual.
Motion made.
Second.
This is just so that I can remind everybody, nothing from the 2022 manual is changing. Additional policies need to be added to comply with the Morris County Joint Insurance Fund. Our attorney, John Urson, has already looked at it. This is all set within the resolution. A full version of the manual will be needed for 2026, so we'll look at the entire manual in totality for revisions for 2025. But this is just additions that are required by the Morris County Jail.
second,
No, I have
Yeah,
a
right.
motion.
Call roll?
Mr. Hoppercamp,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Roberts.
yes,
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
2024-153, authorizing the hiring of Stephanie Montoya Fantazzi as animal shelter help.
So made.
Second,
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So part-time employment provides medical benefits,
No,
Only if it's
No.
over a certain number of hours.
so it should say this position does
Does not.
not provide medical benefits.
Is it the agenda?
Yeah,
Says does,
and there's
yeah.
also the J. It says
Yeah,
whereas,
that's,
comma,
yeah,
J.
I caught that.
Okay.
So do we have to,
We would
No,
just
pass it as amended, right?
Sure.
yeah, as an amendment.
Did someone already make the motion?
yes,
Who made the motion?
Brad?
I did.
So you can do it one of two ways. Somebody could make a motion to amend the motion, or you could just amend the motion that you made. And then with the changes that were just discussed.
I'll amend the motion as made, including to put in the position does not provide for medical benefits.
second that.
And a roll call.
Mr. Hoppercamp,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Roberts.
Yes,
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
2024-154, supporting the 2024 Drive Sober Program. This one reads, whereas approximately 1/3 of all fatal traffic crashes in the United States involve impaired drivers. And whereas impaired driving crashes killed 11,654 people in the United States in 2020. And whereas impaired driving crashes cost the United States almost $44 billion a year. Whereas during the past 5 years, New Jersey's roadways experienced 33,798 crashes and 662 fatalities involving impaired drivers. And whereas an enforcement crackdown is planned to combat impaired driving. And whereas the year-end holiday season is traditionally a time for social gatherings, which include alcohol. And whereas the state of New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety has asked law enforcement agencies throughout the state to participate in the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over 2024 year-end holiday crackdown. And whereas the project will involve increased impaired driving enforcement from December 6th, 2024 through January 1, 2025. And whereas an increase in impaired driving enforcement and a reduction in impaired driving will save lives on our roadways. Therefore, be it resolved that Hopatcong Borough Mayor and Council declare its support for the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over 2024 year-end holiday crackdown from December 4, 2024 through January 1, 2025, and pledges to increase awareness of the dangers of drinking and driving.
So made.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Hoppercamp.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Roberts.
yes,
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Ordinances, ordinance 19-2024, auction of property conforming. An ordinance of the Borough of Hopatcong, County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, authorizing the sale of a certain conforming property owned by the borough and not required for public purposes and more commonly known as 79 Kiner Ave.
Just have a quick question. Was this considered by the real estate committee and supported? I'll make a motion to pass.
Second.
And a roll call.
Mr. Hoppercamp.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Roberts.
yes,
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
When is the auction gonna be held? I'm sorry.
January 15th, 2025.
Yes.
January
Said auction shall be conducted on January 15th.
And you do the second reading, and then you wouldn't have the auction at the reorg meeting.
Okay, that was my question. Thank you.
Ordinance 20-2024, auction of property non-conforming, an ordinance of the Borough of Hopatcong, County of Sussex, State of New Jersey. Authorizing the sale of certain non-conforming property owned by the borough and not required for public purposes, more commonly known as 50 Northwood Road, 11A Coolidge Trail, 124 Jefferson Trail, 113 Monroe Trail, 28 Beverly Road, and 50 Roosevelt Trail.
Same question, supported by the real estate committee.
It was a very productive real estate meeting.
So made.
second,
We went through a
Congratulations.
lot.
Can I ask a question just on these ordinances when we're doing them and selling property? Is it possible to have the tax maps attached to the ordinances, just so we can see kind of where the properties are, rather than having to hunt them down? Oh, I'm sorry, I was asking Shelby. I was like, yeah, would that be, you could do that?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Just so like us not on the real estate committee kind of know Thank you.
They're online too, right? When the application comes in, they're all online.
I don't see the application now. I'm not on
Thought
the.
that- I thought we were posting all the things online.
Well,
The property is available for sale.
Oh, you don't put
Yeah.
the maps in. all
No.
that? Okay, okay.
And a roll call?
Mr. Hoppercamp.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Roberts.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Ordinance 21-2024, amending the solid waste code, an ordinance of the Borough of Hopatcong, County of Sussex, and the State of New Jersey, modifying chapter 201-4C residential garbage collection.
So made.
Second.
Just discussion really quick. Would it be possible to put together like a graphic guide, how we did with the recycling? So residents don't have to scour the internet for what's free and what still requires a sticker?
We would be updating our calendar to reflect what the new information is, and we would be coming up with new handouts for it. Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
Anything
a graphic
change?
guide. Yeah, just something quick and easy for people to look at with a 30-second attention span. It just makes it easy for everybody.
Like a simple.
Yeah,
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 real
yeah.
simple.
Here's what needs a sticker still.
Here's what
Mhm.
doesn't, yeah. And where
I
do
think
you
the one that we,
the-
Shelby, I think the one that we have, we got from Morris County, because
Yeah.
Sussex County's,
Morris County anyway.
yeah,
Mhm.
the Sussex County didn't have anything like that, so maybe we can just borrow
Yeah,
those.
we were already, the staff is already working on what we were gonna do as far as outreach on this, so I'll make sure that it's something easy and quick where it's just a one
Thank you.
one glance.
I think also worth noting is that there's a maximum weight of 50 pounds on the bulk items.
Mhm.
Which is tricky if it's a sofa.
That's what I mean. So
Yeah.
it's 50 pounds.
Even some
We're
of
very
those
excited in my
chairs.
house about bulk pickup, so.
Yeah, I know.
Cut it in half.
We
Jen
are
is weighing
too.
everything in the
Chainsaw, so we'll
bathroom
come over and
scale.
tell you.
We say it pays to be a senior.
Can you see it?
Yes.
She's like, Kyle, make it lighter. It's over
I'll
50.
go over to everybody's house and cut up their couches, don't worry.
One half, a third.
And roll call?
Really good soul on
Mr.
that.
Hoppercamp.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Roberts.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
And ordinance 22-2024, we do not have that for this evening. We have no final hearings. Is there any old business?
Just would like to bring up that I think Shelby's going to put out for a new full-time CFO
Yep.
position.
Yep, it's already,
It's already out.
it's
Already
posted,
out.
It's already out.
started to get some
Okay.
applications, so
Excellent.
hoping to fill that position shortly.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yay.
Mhm.
Anything else? New business, the tax collector September and October report.
Motion. Think of the word.
Second.
And a roll call?
Mr. Hoppercamp.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Roberts.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
That brings us back to public comment. Can I have a motion to go open?
So made.
Second.
All in favor?
All right. Thank-
The meeting is open to the public again for anything and everything that's on and off the agenda. Yes, Dave?
You should sit in the front row, Dave.
I should.
He's getting his steps in.
Okay.
Save a lot of time. I was just curious on the resolution list. How come all of a sudden we need another full-time animal control officer and then someone else to work in the animal shelter?
Well, we lose people in the position. So if we need to have another part-time hired, it's because we've lost part-times that were originally hired. We're replacing people. We're not adding people. We're just filling in the spots.
In other words, you had another animal control officer in addition to the one we have?
We have another animal control officer, yes, but we have a second animal control officer in the position also.
So they're available like 80 hours or, well, I guess 70 hours a week. Is that what, or they work at the same time?
They have a schedule where they are overlapping some of the times, but they are the only ones in the department.
Right.
Our department for animal control has gone from having
7.
7 to 3.
Yeah. And they took on more
More time.
responsibility.
But it's one, we have, at the time right now, prior to this, we have one full-time
Right.
ACO on staff. And then 2 part-timers,
The one that we're hiring now, is that gonna be part-time or that's full-time?
well,
One's
Both.
full,
One's
yes.
full and part.
One's full and one's part.
One
So-
and one.
I see. So we were able to do with just one, and now we're doubling the staffing.
No.
Because we
didn't
we
have
really
that one.
weren't
Six,
able
we had
to.
like
We had
6
six.
part-timers.
We had 6.
6 animal control
We had like
officers?
5 part-timers and a floater. So
As
now you're
animal
taking-
control?
You're taking 1 full-time and 5 part-times and making it 2 full-times and a part-time.
I see. Is this also a police officer?
No, she is not.
I see. Okay. The last thing is, the sober drive. Is that going to result in, more police out there looking for, impaired drivers? Or is
The-
it just
the-
a
the goal-
resolution?
The goal of the drive sober, get pulled over, yes, it's to bring recognition during the holiday season when most people are out celebrating. Yes, it's more presence for the police.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Not hearing anything, motion to bring it back.
Who made it?
I don't have a conclusion for the evening, so just a motion to adjourn.
motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Amen.
Aye.
Look at you. I'm doing that.